This is our special series celebrating Black women founders in partnership with the Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust, where we are uplifting and elevating the voices of our Black women founders all across South Florida. On today's episode, we have Dr. Amber Williams, the only Black chiropractor in South Miami. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Amber.
Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell the people a little bit about your business.
So, I am the owner and founder of Upright Spine Center. We are located here in Palmetto Bay, Florida. I'm a doctor of chiropractic, so I wanted to bring that information and educational component to the Down South chapter, space, because we don't have that here. So here I am.
You know, being an entrepreneur is a very special breed of people, right? So what motivates you to keep going?
Oh, my patients. Hearing them and their testimonies and their stories, it just helps me continue to keep going. I don't really give myself praise. I don't feel like I'm much more of an entrepreneur. I still feel like an employee at times.
Hmm.
Um, but it is very refreshing and rewarding to know that I'm providing some pain relief to many in the community.
Can you know, so interesting. In one of the last episodes we talked about moving from an employee mindset to a CEO mindset, and you said that you kind of feel like you go between both. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
I do feel like I work more on the business than in the business. Excuse me, in the business than on it.
Mm.
So now it's more of a catch-22 type thing. So when I come here to work, I have so much work to do that I lose track in working on the business. So
Mm.
the night before I could work on the business, on the business, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do all of these things tomorrow. Get to work and forget I have to work. And I have work to do. So it's kind of like a balance thing. Sometimes you're able to get to those things, sometimes you aren't. But as you know, at least I'm able to provide some type of help. It helps me at times.
That's great. And so you said it was really important for you to ensure that there was a Black chiropractor in South Miami. Can you talk more about why it's important to have representation in the medical field, but especially in the field of being a chiropractor?
What chiropractic care is, we provide a holistic aspect on the nervous system and the spine. So we work closely with the brain, the nervous system, and the joints that do align with it. So when I even went to chiropractic school, fast forward, rewind back. I didn't even know what chiropractic was. So let me start there. I saw football players getting adjusted and many athletes seeing the many benefits of it. And to me, it looked very aggressive. But once I did my educational research and saw also there's only a 3% black people in this profession. So me in that aspect, I'm like, if I didn't know what chiropractic care is, I'm sure there's many in my community that do not. And even so, since I brought my practice here down south, many people still don't know what it is. So now it's all about spreading that educational component instead of just making them feel like they should see a chiropractor, which they should know the educational background behind it and how it can help them.
So, can you tell us a little bit more about the importance of chiropractic work and what it can do for your body? And you said that people should see a chiropractor as just, do you think that's just as regular maintenance, healthcare, as part of your normal healthcare routine?
Yes, so regular maintenance, meaning so you have different careers, many people who work from home, podcasts, individuals who are sitting for prolonged periods of time. We're educated and coached that sitting is the new smoking. So if there's no stretching component happening, you align underlying diseases can arise and give you some great pain. Also, those braiders, mechanics, people who do things with repetition, those create issues such as like arthritis, stiffness, and things of that sort. So we also adjust joints. We also align the spine. Many people do lift. Men are very hardworking men, so they do a lot of lifting. Sometimes they twist, pull. Sometimes they're able to not even get up at night or in the morning. So, and then Americans, of course, we get up with just enough time to get up, get out of the bed, and go straight to work. So I provide the component of reminding them that, hey, you need to stretch depending on how you slept. Some people are stomach sleepers and they love it. However, it's like you got to stretch your back, because if you're sleeping on your stomach the entire night, you got to wake up and stretch it. Otherwise, you're just exacerbating the pain even more. And years go by, and now I have chronic back pain. So, such things as stretching tips, posture tips, we round our shoulders forward. A lot of kids do have their cell phones and they're looking down a lot. So, that creates posture issues and humps in your back, scoliosis, the list goes on. So, we like to provide some posture tips and some wellness aspects to keep you upright.
Listen, I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I think I need to go to a chiropractor and put it in my practice. Okay, Dr. M, I might be making an appointment soon. Uh, can you tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey? So you actually have a store, like an office space that is yours, that you've moved down to the South. And from where was it located originally or previously?
It wasn't. So, I had an unfortunate situation happen at my last job. During COVID, they just let me go. So it was in November of 2020, and I didn't even know anything about being an entrepreneur. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know how to start. But I definitely got with a friend from the community, and she sat down with me and told me the things that I needed to find, and if I wanted a storefront. I remember I didn't even know what storefront meant.
Mm,
So I rode around and found some places, and this one just set perfect right here in Palmetto Bay. Um, Perrine is what people know it to be, but city limits have me in the Palmetto Bay aspect. So I'm here. I'm learning, growing every day. I'm 2 years in my practice. I opened in February of 2021. Thank God I'm still open.
congratulations.
I thank God for that every day. And people are more and more patients are coming more and more every day. So I can't be more proud.
So you opened this practice in the middle of the pandemic. How was that?
Um, I I can't even say it was bad because I don't even know what worse could have been. Um, it was days that I didn't have any patience. It was days that I had a lot of patience. I'm continuously growing, and even on this journey, I'll go back to dates in 2021 to remind myself of how far I've came. So now I'm seeing anywhere between 15 to 20 patients a day, and I remember not even seeing not one person in a day. Me sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to get people in my office, and now every day the phone rings for a new patient to come in for a consultation.
That's exciting. So what do you attribute as part of your success?
Part of my success is definitely my family and my failures. Your failures really do show you it opens your vision to show you where you can go. And when you have that support system behind you, pushing you, because when I say I told my family I had a business, I didn't think they were going to be as excited because we don't talk about business stuff with family. But I told them I had a business. When I tell you they went and brought paintbrushes, brooms, mops, they helped remodel this office because I hated it, but they helped me so much. And so my failure from even getting released from my last job just gave me hope that I can actually do this. Like, why not right now? A Black woman bringing a chiropractic business to a community that doesn't know anything or much about it. So that's what it's taught me.
I love that. So, as you mentioned, you were let go in the pandemic. That's a story that's happened to so many people. How did you decide to not necessarily look for another job and working for someone else and say, you know what, I'm going to work for myself and I'm going to create the opportunity instead of looking for other opportunities? What switch? What made you go that route?
Well, I did actually because doctors do have like a on-call situation. So I did sign up to be on call. When I got released, it was around Thanksgiving, Christmas time. So there were a lot of doctors looking for someone to fill in at their offices. So I was able to go and fill in at those offices. But as far as like income, I had just purchased a home. It wasn't enough for me. So I decided, I remember I was just sitting home and I was like, why don't you just open a practice? You've always said you wanted to, but I
Hmm.
didn't feel prepared. So once I did my LLC, got the EIN, and I started getting the ball rolling, it just fueled me up to just go ahead and just start something, even though I didn't know. And a lot of people, I tell a lot of people, I was just blind. I was leading myself blind.
Hmm.
Um, like they say, you hold on to your little mustard seed, and somehow, some way, you'll figure it out. But it was definitely a rough roller coaster as far as income. And yeah, I was working with someone else, but it wasn't enough. And then I actually opened up and wasn't profitable at that same time. So it kind of feels like it does make sense, but it doesn't. But here where I am now, I'm glad I made that move.
Oh, I love that. And I'm glad that you talked about profitability. It's one of the things that I mentioned, which is you can earn money, but there's a time where the earning money turns into your profit. Do you remember
Yes.
that moment that happened? Can you just talk about that a little bit?
I would say, whoo, I remember when I got coaching, because when I started my business, I was not paying myself.
Mm,
And people would bark at me like, you got to be paying yourself. But when you're in that mindset, it's like, I'm making overhead. Like, how am I paying myself? Like, where is this money coming from? How do I even start? What's my value? What's my
mm,
worth right
mm.
now in this moment? Because I went from making almost six figures all the way back down to maybe I'm making 20, 30,000 for the year. And it was just like, what's happening here? So I remember when I was able to actually pay myself, I've actually finally started back paying myself what I was getting when I lost my job back then.
Yes.
So it feels rewarding. It feels refreshing. It does feel like a weight is lifted. And I remember just sitting here looking at, my patients and the income that was coming in. Cause at first, like I say, you waiting for checks to come in. I was about to shut down shop and say, let me go apply for a job. But I'm glad I held in there. I remember that moment. It was definitely the top of this year where I actually was able to sat with my accountant and she's like, you made a profit this year. And I'm like, what?
Man, what an amazing feeling. And how great it is it that you are now paying yourself the amount of money that you were making working for someone else. And then you just have exponential room for growth as you continue to build out your business, as people continue to know you in the community, you're getting those referrals, those awesome recommendations. The work that you do is so important, right? You're giving back, you're giving education, you're giving healthcare and wellness back to the community. You're ensuring that people are looking good, feeling good, and are just maintaining what's going on inside. How do you take care of yourself, Dr. Amber, so you can take care of us?
Ooh. Now, I get adjusted, I stretch, I eat. Right now, I'll be very transparent and say I have not done that in a while. I feel like I've been so focused on trying to get to the next level that I lost track of that. And we do sometimes when the pressure is on and you're trying to make a statement or even life is happening because I just had some sudden deaths happen a lot this year and we're only in August.
Mm.
So as far as like what I need to do for my self-care as of right now is stay in tune with my body, listen to it, rest when I need rest, eat natural things that are going to put great nutritional value into my system instead of stress factors and things that rise inflammation and things of that sort. So for me right now, what I need is a vacation and I'm going to get it very soon.
Yes, make sure you take that vacation and absolutely unplug, okay?
Yes.
And enjoy. I love it. I was talking to someone and they're like, I'm going out into the woods of Denver. She's like, I got a cabin. I'm gonna be unplugged for a whole week. So I was like, sis, do it because we deserve it. So go
Yeah,
ahead. I can't wait for you to take that break,
you're
Dr.
right.
Amber. That's great. Okay, we are coming up on time, but how do people find you?
So you can follow me on Instagram. I am on Dr. Amber DC and also on Upright Spine Center on Instagram. I am also on those same social media names on Facebook as well. And also on TikTok, I am Dr. Amber DC. Follow me for more tips, educational components, or anything that you need to get you up throughout the day.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amber, for being on our show, for sharing your journey with us. It is so important to ensure that we are working on our adjustments, really thinking about our stretching. And so we must include going to a chiropractor as part of our health and wellness maintenance to ensure that nothing catastrophic happens later on in life and that we are really maintaining a healthy lifestyle. So thank you again so much for letting us know that. I'm definitely going to do that. Is on my to-do list to ensure now that I find a chiropractor. Actually, I think I found one. So
Hey, hey.
Really excited. Make sure you all follow her on Instagram and on all the other social medias, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and we'll be back with this series. Thank you again to Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust for this opportunity to elevate the awesome voices of our Black women founders here in South Florida. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Peace.
you.